Oh, my. Well, I wasn't expecting this. I guess it's nice to see some of our older models have been useful to you. We don't usually welcome outsiders. I hope you can appreciate your good fortune. The Institute's a big place. It might take a while to learn where everything is. Our technology must seem pretty advanced by your standards. It's my responsibility to make sure this place runs smoothly. The Institute is my life. I hope it'll be yours too. Goodbye then. Absolutely. We scratch and scrape for every precious ounce of voltage that we can. Over the years, we've learned a few tricks that help supplement our power budget. When necessary, we can tap into select sources on the surface. We take only what we need, of course. Fortunately, Advanced Systems is always working on new solutions to generate more energy. It's a good thing, too, because the demand is always increasing. You don't even want to know what a single use of the molecular dematerializer consumes. The construction of the Institute is the work of generations of scientists. The original survivors of the war, our progenitors, took refuge in the basement of the old Commonwealth Institute of Technology. Over time, their sons and daughters dug deeper into the earth and built increasingly sophisticated habitats and laboratories. It's a process that's still going on today. Even now, we're digging out tunnels for new facilities and infrastructure. Just think what this place will look like 100 years from now. I hope I'm there to see it. Of course, Dr. Lawrence Higgs is our mechanical engineer. He oversees the major life support and security systems. Power distribution is Dr. Evan Watson's area of expertise, and Dr. Newton Oberly is in charge of food and housing. He coordinates with bioscience to ensure that our meals are balanced for optimal nutrition. We also make use of a number of synth units for low-priority maintenance and labor. Hi there. Something I can help you with? If there's anything else you'd like to know about the facilities division, I'm happy to discuss it. Now that you've found him, I hope you're proud of the great man he grew up to be. Kellogg always was a cold bastard. If you ask me, we're better off without him. Oh, that's understandable. The will to survive is the most basic human instinct. I suppose when I heard your story, I felt sorry for you. You've suffered more tragedy than any one person deserves. Your whole world is gone. I'm sorry. I know that was a very personal question. So, now that you're here and you've spoken to Father, does that mean you're on board? Well, that's unfortunate. I suppose it's just as well he isn't able to hear that sentiment. Moving on. I'll see to it that Requisitions is restocked and have them add in some additional items to be used at your discretion. I'm certainly happy to do whatever I can to help going forward. Obviously, the director's quarters are now yours. Don't tell me. He's gone, isn't he? I'm very sorry. I know this must be difficult for you. Now you take his place. Good luck, Director. That's very complimentary. Thank you. I hope you'll feel the same going forward. Some of the divisions may still need your help. Consider checking in with them. The improved power output from the new reactor will solve a lot of problems. Now, what do you need? It feels like the dawn of a new era for the Institute. Now, what can I do for you? I know this is a difficult time, but you're the director now. It's time for you to lead us. You went through so much to find your son, only to lose him. I'm so sorry. No dessert, no seeing friends, no nothing. I'll be giving you double the homework to make sure you're fully occupied during the day. So, what can I do for the future director of the Institute? You went through so much to find your son, only to lose him. I'm so sorry. Thanks again. I can't argue with that. Even so, I'm ready to see the full Gen 3 roll out. That's the third primary drive breakdown this month. As far as I'm concerned, the phase-out on these older models can't come soon enough. This wasn't really what I planned on doing today. Well, all we need to do now is get out in one piece. Otherwise, internally things are as tight as they've ever been. Dr. Secord and her division have been keeping an eye on things topside. Dr. Secord, do you still need modifications to the entryway for the SRB? Hey, relax. We wouldn't send you off without the proper information. I'll consider it done when I've got it in my hands. I'm going with you. Doesn't look like that'll get us anywhere. At least not without whatever card activates it. Not as much as I'd appreciate coming back in one piece. I don't like going above ground unless there's no other option. But here we are, with our options dwindling quickly. Head on up to the relay, and I'll meet you there. Of course, that's why we're talking. Otherwise, you'd be up top already. You're going to the mass fusion building to acquire a beryllium agitator for us. The details would be lost on you. No offense. The point is, it'll allow us to boost the reactor's power and get it running sooner than planned. You just keep me safe. I'll worry about the agitator. The interlocks for the reactor must still be online. You'll have to shut them off first. Yes, it really is. Not only is this tech sensitive, it's old. Look, I'll take care of it. You just make sure I come back in one piece. Look, I get that there's a lot going on right now and this is all moving pretty fast. You're not the only one that feels it. Fact is, this won't work unless we've got you. So take some time, mull it over, and get back to me, okay? We're going to have to cut some corners. I'm not thrilled, but it means we'll need to rely on some pre-war tech. What's that? A key card? Hold on to it. Might be useful. Oh, good. You found the key card. Now we can see where that elevator leads. You wouldn't recognize one if it fell on your head. That's why I'm going to retrieve it. Well, I suppose that's a faster way to get down, assuming you survive the fall. Feeling adventurous? Not really, no. I admit I'm not fond of going up top, but I promise to stay out of your way. This device we're after? It's very sensitive equipment, and it's pretty damn old. It's not that I don't trust you. It's just that I trust myself more. So, are you going to put up a stink, or can we get moving? All right, let's go over the details. Busy day for you, isn't it? Looks pretty dangerous in there. You have any sort of radiation protection on you? Recent events have upset our timetable. Getting the reactor online has become our #1 priority. It needs to be running, well, yesterday. I'll help the synths buy some time. Make sure you get back to the Institute with the agitator. Okay, good. It's an ambush! These guys just don't know when they're beaten, do they? The thing we're looking for, the agitator. It should be in a port at the top of the reactor. Joking in the face of mortal danger, always a good sign. Here, I got a couple of doses of Rad-X, but I seriously doubt it'll do the job. Any place above ground has its risks, but that's why you're in charge. You're there to protect me. Well, it's about to get busier. You're going to lead this operation, I'm told. Well, that's about the most insulting thing I've heard in a while. Okay, you're on your own then. Good luck. Head on up to the relay, and they'll get you over to mass fusion in a flash. Pun sort of intended. Got it? Good. I've had about enough of this little field trip. There's the reactor. Not a bad piece of work for its time. No sign of the agitator. We'll have to search the rest of the building. Come on, you've been around a while. You ought to be up to speed here. The usual stuff Commonwealthers use. Rad-X, Radaway, a suit. Anything like that. You go in there without something and you're going to be toast. Glowing, blistered toast. So? Guess they weren't so good at mitigating radiation back in those days. Levels are almost off the charts. I'll monitor things from here. See? This is why I wore the suit. Look, they worked on the reactor here. They must have had some kind of protection. Poke around and I'm sure you'll find something. Oh boy. You got a couple of doses of Rad-X, which you're welcome to, but they're not going to be enough. They cut the power to the elevators. It's clever. I'll give them that. Well, you were right. The Brotherhood sure is here. Guess we'll have to go through them. Well, shit. The Brotherhood is here. We don't have any time. We're going to have to go through them. Must be an old security system. Watch your back. That should do it. Elevator ought to have power again. Well, isn't this fun? If I was a pre-war tech conglomerate, where would I keep all my best toys? Let's hope the Brotherhood hasn't beaten us to the agitator. At least we got to it first. Normally I wouldn't advise sticking your hands into strange fusion reactors, but I suppose this is the exception. Well, I see you managed on your own. I'm sure you have something else pressing to deal with, so I won't keep you from it. Thank you, really. Couldn't have managed it without you. I understand Father is anxious to get you involved in something else. You'd better not keep him waiting. I think that was enough excitement for, well, ever. I won't lie. I was a little nervous you wouldn't pull it off. Seems I needn't have worried. I'll make sure the agitator gets where it needs to go. Otherwise, internally things are as tight as they've ever been. Dr. Ayo has been keeping an eye on things topside. All Institute facilities remain completely secure with the exception of one notable breach. Now, I'll give you a quick rundown of the facilities division, and then I'll answer any questions you might have afterward. As you might guess, we keep the Institute's mechanical and electrical systems running smoothly. We maintain and upgrade all of the systems that make it possible to live and work in a place like this. There's a lot of machinery behind these walls that recycles the air and water and provides power to the laboratories and quarters. The work we do might not be as exciting as some of the other departments, but it's at least as important. I see. Well, please do mind what you touch. Sensitive equipment here. Not like topside. No? And yet here you are, poking around. One might find that suspicious. If you're not planning on staying, I'd recommend keeping your hands to yourself. Wouldn't want to give the impression you're up to something. And consider having another talk with Sean. He really is anxious to have you with us. They weren't kidding. You really are here. That's exactly my point. You've been through a lot, more than most people could rationally handle. There's an additional reason we're making this move now. It's the Brotherhood of Steel. I don't think that's really going to be an option. Intel suggests they're up to something big and have their eyes on mass fusion too. It's not out of the question that we're going to run into them, because I decided it's best if we lay it all out there. No secrets. So before we step in the relay, I need to know that you'll be on my side out there, not theirs. Don't make fun of the suit, okay? I know it's not the most flattering thing in the world, but neither is radiation sickness. This ought to be quite an adventure. Head on up to the relay. I'll meet you there. I don't want to risk going in there if you're conflicted. So before you step into the relay, you better be sure. Got me? I really hope that's true. Look, before we go through with this, we need to be straight with each other. You've got to know that the Watchers have been keeping an eye on you. We've seen you working with the Brotherhood. You've got to know that the Watchers have been keeping an eye on you. We know you've worked with the Brotherhood in the past. You went through so much to find your son, only to lose him. I'm so sorry. I know this is a difficult time, but you're the director now. It's time for you to lead us. Can we maybe talk later? I got a call at work today about Quentin. Apparently he thought it would be a novel idea to steal high-grade stimulants from Dr. Volkert's lab and then give them to the guerrillas. Ask your son. A courser saw him push Alice and Julia into the concourse water display. Then he helped them out, just to push them back in again. I think a 3-week grounding and a handwritten apology to everyone involved is suitable. I can find him some things to do around the Institute. Picking up trash, polishing. How does a month of maintenance duty sound? Just decided to do that on your own, did you? Okay, whatever you say. We need to get our hands on that agitator before the Brotherhood does. Do I even want to know how you found out about mass fusion from the Brotherhood? So you've been working for them? Well, don't let the SRB get wind of that. All right, look, I can't go into details, at least not right now, but this is important. Really? Okay, hotshot. Have fun. So that's kind of, I think classified is the best way to describe it. It's a piece of pre-war tech that's useful in optimizing nuclear reactions. That makes sense? All right, sounds good. Head to the relay and they'll get you to mass fusion. Good luck. I'll meet you at the relay and we'll head over. Really? The Institute, of course. Sean implied you operated on a level, if not equal, then at least similar to the rest of us. Curious. Hey, what do you need? What's on your mind? Oh, a lot of us will have a hard time accepting an outsider as our next director. It won't be easy. Of course. It was never the intention to cause more harm than is necessary. We'd like your input on what direction we should take. Do we increase synth production or focus on weapons development? As director, it's up to you and how we focus our efforts in achieving this goal. Let's not be dramatic, Justin. I suppose that's one way of phrasing it. We've all agreed that action must be taken. Dr. Ayo, do you still need modifications to the entryway for the SRB? Right. I'll make sure a team is sent over soon. I did. I'm in the middle of reviewing them now, but I'm already unsure how we're going to shuffle things to get you the necessary power. I'll let you know when the review is complete. Oh, good to hear. It'll be a load off Sean's mind. Take your time. Get yourself acquainted. There's a lot to take in. Plenty of things you won't find topside. Well, all right. I'm Allie Filmore. You can think of me as the Institute's chief engineer. When Father told us about you, I could hardly believe it. You've been through so much, I think most people would have just given up. If you don't mind my asking, what was it that kept you going all that time? So you'll be the new director, huh? Father always did like to challenge our assumptions. We really don't have a choice. If we're to emerge from this the victors, we need to move quickly. Well said. I'll see that the necessary steps are taken. I'm sure you will. May I be the first to welcome you, sir. We're looking forward to working with you. May I be the first to welcome you, ma'am. We're looking forward to working with you. Well, if we increase synth production, we'd be able to deploy more of them to the Commonwealth to aid in our operations. Weapon development would improve the weapons we have available to us now, making our synths more effective in the field. Which would you prefer we focus on? Okay then. I'll come up with something. So, where do you stand? That's all we have for the moment. I believe Father wished to speak with you once our meeting concluded. As you wish. The advanced systems folks will get to work immediately. Yes, of course. As the incoming director, we felt it important to inform you of the decision and get your thoughts on it. Thank you very much for your time, sir. Thank you very much for your time, ma'am. Well, you've certainly riled things up. I doubt the SRB will feel the same, but I'll let it go. So you and I are going to relay over there, grab it, and get back here before the Brotherhood knows what's happened. Okay? Not to put more pressure on you, But we have to move quickly on this. Word is that the Brotherhood is nosing around the area. We don't want them getting the agitator before we do.